Hey there, Protective Tactics family. Donnie Johnson here, bringing you another training video. And first of all, I just want to wish you guys a very happy new year. I know 2020 was a little bit dicey, to say the least. But we're leaving that in the past. We're going to move forward. All we can focus on is what we can do today to make tomorrow a little bit better, right? One thing that comes with the new year, though, is New Year's resolutions. And for a lot of people, health revolves around those New Year's resolutions. So I've had some friends coming to me saying, hey, I've considered starting some MMA, starting some martial arts, maybe some jujitsu to start the new year, try to get in shape and learn how to protect myself a little bit. And the biggest question they ask me when it comes to advice on what class to take is, how does this compare to what you do? What's the difference between MMA and protective tactics? Why does protective tactics better? And the answer is actually pretty simple. One is sport, and one is designed specifically to save your life. In an MMA match, you have a set of specific rules that two people have agreed upon. Not only have they agreed upon these rules, but we have things like weight classes. And we tend to match people with similar experience because we want to have the best entertainment possible. The best entertainment value possible is putting two people who are similarly skilled up against each other to see who is the best at their craft, who can really excel in these intense situations, in these high adrenaline situations in front of thousands of people, who can perform. But there's a couple caveats to that. One, obviously these are very highly trained people. They have agreed upon a set of rules. They know who they're going to fight. They know how much time they have to prepare. They can study film of the other person. They can learn their fighting style. They can learn how to counter their fighting style. They have months and months of preparation before they even step into the ring with this other person. And when they step into the ring with this other person, there is a referee there specifically to keep the two people safe. It sounds a little contradictory because we got these two guys or girls going in to like bash each other's heads in, trying to come out the most victorious person, try to physically dominate another person. But even through all that, we have a referee there to keep everybody safe. Because when it comes to MMA, when it comes to sport, it's not about causing injuries. If it was all about causing injuries, the sport wouldn't last very long. We'd go through people quite quickly. We'd run out of people to fight. However, when it comes to protective tactics, when it comes to defending yourself, defending your family, saving your life on the street, it is solely about creating injuries. And if we were to go into it with a sport mindset, with a certain set of rules stuck in our head, we would put ourselves at a severe disadvantage. Because this guy, this scumbag, whoever it may be, who has decided that whatever they want from you is more important than your personal health and well-being, and more important than the personal health and well-being of your family or loved ones, they're not going by a set of rules. They have decided what they want, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to take it. So you need to be willing to do whatever it takes to defend yourself, to stop them from taking it, to stop evil in its tracks. And a set of rules does not help you in that scenario. So the easiest way to compare the two is to just start with what they're not allowed to do in combat sports and say, that's a pretty decent place to start in the street. You're not allowed to eye gouge in sports. You're not allowed to strike to the groin. There's a lot of rules that you're not allowed to do there because the people who made those rules understand how devastating strikes of those nature could be, which is exactly why we want to use them on the street, because of how devastating they are. We need to put every single tool available in our arsenal to defend ourselves, because we don't want to leave it up to chance. When you follow a set of rules, you are leaving your fate and the fate of your loved ones up to chance. And personally, that is something I am not willing to do. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, regardless of the consequences to this other human being in this moment, because they have forfeited their right to be okay after this. They have chosen violence. They have chosen to disregard my personal safety in pursuit of a selfish gain of their own. And I am not willing to sit down and let that happen. I have decided that my personal safety and the personal safety of my family is more important than what they want from me. Because I like to think of myself as a good person, and I don't want to hurt someone else. And I don't want to be hurt by someone else. And I think as a good person, I deserve to be able to protect myself. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes to stop them. If that means causing a permanent injury, so be it. because I don't want to have to hurt somebody, but I am very willing to if it comes down to it. And I hope you are too, because that mindset is a very hard thing to wrap your head around. You don't want to have to hurt another person. If you watch fights in the MMA, when someone gets that knockout, almost every time you see them going over to check on their opponent to make sure that they're okay. Because at the end of the day, they understand that this is a competition. They don't really want to permanently damage another human being. At the end of the day, in some way, they do care about their opponent. And they don't want to see something horrible happen to them, especially at their hand. On the street, we cannot afford that luxury. We don't have a ref. We don't have rules. We don't have medical teams standing by. We just have us and this person who is willing to do physical harm to us to get what they want. So in that moment, rules don't matter. Sport doesn't matter. All that matters is getting home safe. And you need to be willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. Now, does that mean that doing things like MMA, jiu-jitsu, martial arts is useless? Of course not. I've done martial arts my entire life. I full-heartedly believe in it. It teaches fantastic skills. It'll get you in great shape. It'll improve your flexibility, your overall well-being. There are fantastic mindset benefits that come to training in combat sports and martial arts. There are endless benefits to it. But when it comes to specifically self-defense and saving your life on the street, you need to leave those behind. You need to focus only on what works. And what works is protective tactics. Plain and simple. Our protective tactics system is simple, it's easy to do, and it works. On the street, you don't need complicated. You don't need fancy. You don't need anything to show off and show how skilled you are. All you need is potentially that one strike that ends it. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to look like you're some combat master on the battlefield. All you need to do is get home safe. And protective tactics enables you to do that. That wraps up this protective tactics training video on combat sports versus protective tactics and the effectiveness in self-defense applications. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you got a little bit out of this video. I hope you have a wonderful start to your 2021, and I will see you next time.